Gotta start off with two shout outs. One is to Danger 5, this team from, I think from Adelaide, Australia, that are making some super cheesy, like 60s style. Everything is lip synced in their shows. It's like a 20-minute episode, kind of it's entirely comedy, but um, awesome. It's hilarious. Really, really been making me laugh at night lately. So I love these guys. And last night I stumbled across Ader, the game. I think it's pronounced Ader. This is a two-man team, indie team from the UK, and they're making this game kind of like Diablo but with pixel art, and it's got its own unique concepts too. So your character gets really tired after fighting, and you have to, if you are tired, you like get destroyed easily by enemies. And a lot of unique concepts they're throwing into their game. So I mean, it looks super awesome. And also, what's really great about this is they've really inspired me on how to get people excited about your game. So like for example, they got me so excited about their game just by checking out all their stuff that I liked them on Facebook. I followed them on Twitter. I voted for them on their Steam concepts. I wrote them a tweet and said how awesome I think they are, and just basically everything I could possibly do. They got me that excited that I just definitely wanted to do it, and I even subscribed to them on YouTube. Everything. So I'm really proud of these guys. They're a huge inspiration, and I'm going to be definitely getting in touch with them and tell them how awesome they are and thank them for what they've been doing. So, anyways, I'm going to use this as fuel to get some more exciting stuff done for my own game, and use it. Probably a lot of my next videos are going to be about creating a better website, creating better, awesome, more exciting things in the game. And one thing I'm actually going to focus on is making the game more fun to play. So right now, Songbringer is looking better. Every day. It's only been developing this for 50 days. I'm a solo developer, so I can't really develop as fast as a two-man team, but I can go as fast as I can. So, but one of the things that could be a lot more fun about the game is if you had more items to use. Right now, I've got the bomb and the sword. But one thing I thought would be cool is if you could drop a bomb and then swing your sword, and it would knock the bomb, kind of like golf chip the bomb. So that'll be something fun to develop. Another thing I want to do is if you double tap, moving left or right or up or down, you'll do a dodge roll. So you'll like quickly move and roll out of the way of attacks. And another thing is thanks to some inspiration from Sebastian, my he's a game developer as well, and we've been emailing back and forth and stuff. And he suggested why not make a top hat attack, and that's just totally works because this character here, Rock has a top hat. So I think what I'm going to do is one of the items you get in the game is you'll get a yo-yo cord style, like it's like a futuristic metallic cord thing, but you can attach it to your hat and throw your hat, and then use the yo-yo cord to pull your hat back. So it's a lot like a boomerang attack, and that also is really cool because it explains how you can pick up items, and it's sort of an attack too. So really excited right now, and actually what I'm going to do today is I'm going to work on a final boss scene. So instead of working forwards through the game and going where my mind says to go, I'm going to follow my heart and actually go straight to the end of the game right now and create the final boss. So I rewrote actually the entire plot for the game last night. I was so inspired that I decided to make it a little more exciting, and I've got more exciting enemies, more. I'll share more with that later, but the main boss is a giant demon named Eve, and she's sexy looking. She's red. She has an evening gown on, and she flies, and she goes through portals and things like that. And she has amazing, huge powers. And I'm gonna make her look huge, and you're gonna fight all on the bottom of the screen. So your character would kind of be mostly on the bottom of the screen. You'll be able to chuck bombs at her, and you'll be able to attack her when she comes close. So I'm going to draw some of those backgrounds right now, and actually just do an outline for that character, and just basically focus on art today. and getting the final boss scene going. So I'm gonna start with a scene that is the normal size for my game, which is 420 by 240. I don't need the timeline right now. I want to start with this is gonna be I'm gonna try a daytime scene actually first here. So let's get a good sky background color. So this scene is gonna have at the bottom of it, it's going to have some ground. I'm going to draw it with a grass color. Grab my grass color. That's 209, 255, 181. Grab a brown color. Just adding on a tiny bit of grass here. And I'm gonna make some of this a little bit darker. And then some of it a tad bit lighter. One thing that'll actually start to really help this whole scene here is a background, of course, but actually just doing a gradient overlay that is levels. This is the effects I use in my game are levels, and then I do a color burn, and then also a soft color. So let's do the soft one first. What's up, Punchwood? I'm planning to release this game probably in 6 to 9 months, but it's actually going to get a lot more exciting pretty quick. I'm going to do some gameplay trailer videos, uh, and there's going to be, I'm going to put it on Steam, and I'll get it on like a Kickstarter campaign and everything. So it's going to look like it's almost done for about the next 6 months, hopefully. But it'll get better and better and better and better. And actually, a lot of the game will get fleshed out. Let's do radio. Probably soft light. Yeah, it's kind of at alpha stages right now. But it'll be like officially alpha in the next, couple weeks. Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah. I right now I'm working on this final boss scene right here, and so I'm kind of working backwards to make it look to make it way more fun. Actually, the player will be able to do dodge rolls, throw his hat. There's gonna be this giant evil witch boss here you're gonna fight. So getting to this most exciting part of the game and making sure the game is really fun in that point, and then working backwards from that to make the whole rest of the game more Zelda-like and but randomly generated. So how did I do this before? Where I did a gradient overlay. I just need to make this bit white. If I do this color burn, whatever. Let's just get to drawing these backgrounds and stuff. So I want to see a cool mountain here in the background. Let's grab a brown. Maybe more of a gray, actually. So one thing that can really help backgrounds is doing a little fade. Um, Man, that's a great question. Um, well, first you want to like start simple and start small, but I would start with every skill you can learn at once. And I told this to somebody else that was emailing me recently. That Oh, cool. So you fool around with Unity? That's a great place to start. If you like Unity and you're attracted to that, start with a few tutorials from some other people about how to create some simple games. Don't focus on trying to make the most epic thing in the world at first. Make the most simple thing you can possibly make. Um, and dedicate an entire day to each kind of skill. So learn to master things. So like when you want to learn Unity, start with mastering your own simple game for projects. Start with projects and just make sure you can create a project really awesome. And start with some tutorials. Learn to create your own little simple small project game. And then start learning art as well, and start learning sound effects and music as well. Because if this is all, if you want to do it all yourself, you really got to have all these skills, and it really doesn't take that much time to learn them all. And it doesn't have, you don't have to be awesome at first. Just be as good as you can. So I don't know. Maybe that advice helps a little. So we add this gradient, reverse that, multiply. Not like that. I want the background to be 0 opacity, and then this 100% opacity white. No. Oh no, this is what I wanted. This bit. Oh, both of them black. That's the thing. No, I meant white. Okay, white. Why is that working? Um, To remember code? Well, I learned it over the course of a year. That over the like I was 14 years old. I picked up some books and stuff like that. But today, man, you don't even have to know as much code. Like Unity handles a lot of it, and if as long as you know a little bit of C sharp, you can get by without even knowing code that much. There, overlay. Okay. So everything needs a lot more details and it could be a lot more awesome, but I want to add the character of the game in here and start drawing this boss. Um, I've made you can check out my website wizardfoo.com, and my most recent game is a MOBA. Um, Besides Songbringer, which I'm working on right now, there's here this Hero Bash. Hero Bash is a free to play MOBA. It's only for iOS right now, but we have plans to put it on other platforms and stuff if we can start to build up more of a fan base. What the mistake we made with this game was we made a really cool game, but we never started sharing it until it was done. And we had this great game, and you can check it out. But we didn't have a following. We hadn't built up any type of following at all, and so it kind of was dead on arrival the second we released it. We've made like $20 a month on it. We've got very few players playing it, and the people that do play it love it, and they're like, man, we wish you guys would develop this more and stuff like that. But we kind of made a critical mistake. We didn't really build a following for it. So right now, I'm excited more about Songbringer and making this current game. So I'm putting all my energies into that. But at some point, I may revisit Hero Bash and put it out on more platforms and you know, I've actually been updating it and things like that. So little updates, little things that people have been asking for, have been, you know, improving it slightly over time. But really, to put a whole bunch of energy into it is going to require a lot of time, and I just don't have that right now. So uh, let's get Jib in there too. Yeah, the lore to Songbringer. I just wrote this again last night, but basically the lore is that 10,000 years before the current time, um, which is actually 13,000 BC. So the present day in this game is 13,000 BC, and you're actually in the star system of Bellatrix, which is in the Orion Nebula, and you're actually part of a party barge. So that's why your guy looks like he's partying. So there's a huge giant ship that looks like a sailing ship, and it's an art. It's like an art boat. So all the people on the boat are artists, musicians, poets, things like that. All peaceful people, and you're all going to this planet where you gather, and it's kind of like Burning Man, and you're just partying. Basically, all your ships are all around each other. You're in this mysterious planet where people rarely visit and the cops never come. And you're partying, you're having fun, your girlfriend's there, everybody's dancing, there's like lots of music and stuff like that. And you decide to take a break and warp down to the planet because your ships are like in up in the sky. So you teleport down to the planet. You're just checking it out. You're eating cactuses and things like that, and you find this sword in a cave. And when the second you pick up the sword, you trigger the awakening of this great evil witch, basically. Her name's Eve, and she's been in cryo sleep for like 10,000 years since the last Great War of the Wizards. So 10,000 years before this game, there's the Great War of Wizards. So there's all these wizards and witches and things like that. But all wizards and witches really was sci-fi characters. So all of this is based on technology. Even though it looks like a fantasy game, there's really technology behind it all. So um, at the end of the last Great War of Wizards, they like forced Eve into cryo sleep and everything like that. But she had these backup systems in place. So if anyone ever came to this planet and took this sword, she would wake up, and so would her entire army. So you unknowingly trigger the second Great War of Wizards where you basically pick up this sword and it opens up this entire army of evil. They're very demonic. They're like all demons, like red colored. There's also cyborgs, which are pretty evil looking, and so yeah, that's basically it. So I'm gonna draw this final boss here and kind of work backwards with the game. Oh. So I was trying to make this background gradient more a different color, but why isn't it letting me edit this color? This is a weird gradient. It's not letting me change it. Oh, that was super weird. Oh, this is so messed up. Every time I try and edit this color, it won't let me. Yeah, it's also going to be on iOS. So the main platforms I'm going for are Steam, which are like PC, Mac, Linux. But also it's going to be on iOS and Android because the engine I'm using is Cocos 2DX. So all the code I can write in C++, which I've been doing, and then publish on all those platforms at once. Just gonna do some clouds actually. I want this background to kind of be more, just feel more right. So get some white, big poofs of white. What's up, Corpse Run? Do we know each other already? Sorry, I don't know everybody's Twitch handles. So all this is pretty quick and dirty so far, but I'm trying to make a cool scene so we can make this final boss battle just look awesome. All right, I think we're ready to start sketching this boss, Eve, the Great Witch. Oh, what's up? How you doing, Sebastian? Man, I thought it was you. So yeah, to kind of recount, I got super excited last night about Ader, the game. This is a super awesome looking Diablo style game, and they've done an excellent job of making their game look really exciting to play. And it's got unique concepts and everything. And so I'm so inspired by how exciting they made their game look that I'm trying to make my game more exciting to actually play. So going along with your suggestion actually from Corpse Run was to use a top hat attack. So your player's going to be able to do a top hat attack where it kind of you throw it like a boomerang and it comes back because you have this yo-yo cord that you find at some point. And also you'll be able to do dodge rolls, so you'll be able to run out of the way of attacks and things like that. And you'll be able to set down bombs and then like chip them like a golf club. Oh yeah, right. I'm glad you've seen that game. I stumbled across it last night. I was like, whoa, it just blew me away. So let's call this Eve. She was gonna be gigantic, gigantic and red. Uh, let's desaturate a little, maybe there, and just block her in. Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah. Ader's definitely got a cool look going for sure. And they've really inspired me to make, even if the game looks cool, I want it to feel even better. So that's why I want the dodge rolls and the hat attack and all these just fun things you can do. This super rough outline here. I'm gonna finish her, just kind of get her outline really dialed in so she She's pretty sexy. And then I'm going to add on an evening gown and some shading and things like that. And it'll really start to come to life once I add on those things. She's going to float in the air and fly on a cloud. Maybe this middle here become fishnetty style dress. Yeah, these proportions are definitely way off at first, but refinement, refine. It'll all turn out good. Awesome. She looks very rock and roll. What's up, Hooney Pop? Howdy. So I'm gonna give her a little bit of highlight and shadow here on her leg. Make it pop a little more. Oops. I'm gonna do that with the brush actually instead of the pencil. Do this little highlight. Ah, that's not looking pixel art enough. So I need a good highlight color here that's like less saturated. Only slightly different. Probably change the hue slightly towards orange too. Okay, I know what to do. This bit I should make semi-transparent. There we go. So all this, I'm going to combine all these layers so I can do some proportions. Her proportions are just wrong. And I want to do some hair, but yeah, let's see some hair real quick. She's going to be like, she's going to have snakes on her head. So all of the lore for Songbringer is based on actual history of our planet because this takes place at 13,000 BC, and actually all the events of this Great War of the Wizards actually triggers events that happen on Earth as well. So all of our history, the Mahabharata, the all of our ancient civilizations, these things like that, we all revered these aliens or gods or whatever, people that came from the sky. So this is actually the Great War of the Wizards. Actually, part of it takes place on Earth, and so that's where we have legends of Medusa and other gods that had snakes on their heads and things like that. There's also gods that were like snake people. So some of the enemies in this game are gonna have to be snake people. Uh, so a lot of it's based in actual history. I definitely want to draw her eventually with her mouth open, and she's gonna have like demon-like teeth. But for now, okay. So proportions. Her middle. I want it to be wider. I'm trying to decide what I want her to do for her attacks. Like, maybe she'll shoot some beam of light or something, or energy out of her eyes or mouth, or maybe her hands. Or the snakes could do something too. Like, the snakes could, they could, of course, strike out, strike the player. Hmm. Because I want to put her in a pose, like an action pose right now, where she's doing one of her attacks. So, yeah. What's up, Zombie Brand? She's supposed to be huge for sure. She's the final boss. Yeah, she's mountain big for sure. She's huge, and she also has a dinosaur slash dragon that she rides, and he's huge as well. Might as well make her screaming right away. She is evil. That's funny. So just to make myself giggle, I'm gonna try and put a light beam or some kind of energy beam coming out of her mouth or hands and see what looks best. So let's grab this polygon lasso tool. If she was screaming out some super energy here. Color dodge, that's kind of cool. Linear dodge, color burn, no, overlay. Overlay looks like he's too much like light. I think it's just normal actually. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that normal. So there's kind of like what it might look like if it were coming out of her mouth. Here's one hand. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that. That way it doesn't obscure her sexy body, which is not fully sexy yet, but it will be. There we go. Now she's kind of got like her those two attacks. I could definitely see her floating in the air and her hair moving. I think I might actually start animating right now just to give it a little life. So I do another layer of her, even though she's super unrefined, it'd be nice to see this coming to life a bit. Make these frames 0.2 and let's see. This is super rough, but man, I'm saving this out. Animated GIF. Very rough around the edges. It'd probably take me all day to get this scene looking really cool, actually. GIF. Yeah, I did that, I think, right. All right, so she's got these beams of energy coming out of her hands. She needs to come close too at some point. So let's draw her actually close. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of all of these frames and the timeline because I don't want to animate it too much right now. I just want to check out some other stuff. Uh, so if she was like, there we go, yeah. So she could do like this close melee attack where she like pounds her fists on the ground or something. There, so this attack will create some kind of huge shockwave, which will knock your player back if you're near it. Yeah, she probably would get a little bigger, closer to the cam. Let's try her out bigger. Yeah. Hmm. That's cool. I like her way bigger, actually. So let's see those proportions. She's here. And then she's here. So that's kind of her a little more distant. And then this is. So there's distance. Looks good. Yeah. Man, this is going to be a lot of artwork to make this all animated and everything, but I think it'll be worth it. Cool. All right, so that's off to a good start. And I personally am really hungry now. So I'm going to actually take a break here. And, but later on today, what I'm going to do is basically take this whole thing and I think the first thing I'll do is actually put this into the game. So I'll, even though the art's not all refined and everything, I'll put it in the game and start feeling how it feels to see if it's fun to even fight this kind of boss, like in this small area with these kind of attacks. And I'll need to get the chip the bomb effect going and the dodge rolls and things like that. But man, give this a week, and I think this will turn into a really cool boss battle scene. that you can play. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this little journey to start this art here for the final boss Eve, and thanks for all the comments and thanks for everybody for chatting and stuff. So uh, that's it for this video. Check you later.